This video is about the 144,000. We've heard it in many contexts and it's been talked about for a very long time. So I'm going to untether it from prophecy. I'm going to untether it from myths or identity or any kind of archetypal inflation. And let's get to the core of what the 144,000 actually means. Hi, I'm Natalie Viglione, and I serve as a guide to help dogs and cats and humans restore the body's original harmonic frequency through vibrational medicine. I have 6-month programs where I work with a dog or a cat or the total body reset for humans. And what we work through is living minerals, living water, ancient nutrition, flower essences, and other plant medicine to bring coherence into the body. Coherence is the body's innate and original state of being, and I can create custom herbal blends, custom alchemical flower essence blends, and I've also recently published a poetry book, and you can find that link below and all the links to explore these things. I have walked this entire path myself, rebuilding my own body from complete depletion, and so I walk this work every single day. And my husband and I, we are creating One Song Grove, a sanctum in eastern Tennessee in which you see around me in those beautiful foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we have created the Sacred Soul Health Ministry. Please check out things below in the description to connect with us. We would love to connect with you. So let's clarify the 144,000. If we look at this context of how it's been talked about in a way that inflates prophecy, inflates it as a head count, like there's 144,000 people. That's not it at all. It is a frequency grid. It's a frequency grid signature. It is the original organic harmonic scaffolding of coherence that holds this earth. You have to get into math to get into the grid, but it's 12 by 12 by 1,000. And this anchors into the 12 around 1. And this kind of math is what has come through in the sharings, in my beingness around this, is that it is the grid of symmetry. Now, those who resonate with this grid, regardless of the number of people and regardless of whether we can do 12-based math or not, we're actually attuning into this organic and original harmonic infrastructure, architectural infrastructure. And what we are load-bearing nodes that's necessary for anchoring the golden architecture of coherence into Earth's lower density aspects, what you could say are matrices. So this isn't a position based on authority or some kind of role that somebody plays and they put on a mask and I'm a 144,000. But there are millions in proximity that are resonating with that original harmonic grid, that architectural grid. However, what it takes is sufficiently stabilizing the emotional and mental fields of the body to mirror Earth's. And that means aligning breath, the inhale and the exhale of Earth, with your own. And then the other layers to this is those that are committed to service-based, inner developing, and willing to sustain that and phase lock into that. It's a feeling of literally something locking in, like you're locking into something when you fully connect into this harmonic field. And what that is, it's a moment where the pattern, the breath and the spiral of light and Earth's density is spiraling together with your breath. And that's creating a breath loop. And when you're resonating on the carrier wave of the 144,000 architectural grid, that structure, that is what begins to vibrate. When we think about those that are of the 144,000 anchoring, the load bearers, that actually means being a bearer of the load. Think of it like we are those who pull the grid down, anchor it and put it into the earth, and then we hold that position and we sustain that position. We breathe. Presence, breath, function. That's what it is. We become part of the golden architecture that is the original and organic architecture of this earth that was always meant to be. It's being re-anchored, and it gets re-anchored through our bodies. So you can think of it as like the first wave of bodies to hold a foundation. So forget the prophecy, forget the entitlement, forget there's 144,000 men. I've heard so many things. So this is why I wanted to do this, to really anchor in harmonic, organic alignments with Earth. We can also get into the blue ray, because this is a symbolic compression of harmonic. It's a bandwidth, if you will. And it's very, very real. Bandwidth of color vibration of the feminine anchoring through our very bodies. And it is the inward harmonic. That is, the inward harmonic is the feminine vector. And that is a feminine harmonization. And that field is so necessary because obviously it was actually suppressed and now it is anchoring once again. And that pulls this chaotic spin that we've been in into this spherical symmetry without force and without destruction. So you can think of it, it's not really like a beam of light, but it is a set of frequencies, this very beautiful geometry that comes through our bodies when we become ignited into this remembering. And we feel that explosive expansion within our bodies, and we become the anchors of the harmonic expression into this earth. This is what is going to bring this coherence back into alignment again, because that is the piece that has been missing and it has been out of balance, obviously, as we know. Now, this also brings with it trust. It brings emotions. There needs to be this stabilization. It also brings stillness as a function, because that is sacred receiving, receptivity. And these are the things that need to be anchored once again, because it's not just being attuned to like this divine feminine in some mythic sense or way, but it's literally inhabiting it and being able to nest it in our bodies. And that requires coherence in our bodies. It requires geometric stabilizing. Now, this is what is stabilizing the actual planetary architecture, the golden architecture, which is that architecture, that 12 by 12 by 1,000 that I mentioned earlier. You've heard soul family, and while this is, this is one way to express it, it's also, we can think of it as we are the wombs or the bodies, because not all are women, of anchoring this golden grid architecture once again. The 144,000, they're not chosen, they are choosing. We choose to hold this implosion as breath, as our own geometry, as our own unwavering presence, holding the line, holding the grid, anchoring in. This is the beauty of what this all is bringing together, and why it's often connected into this blue ray, because the rememberings ripple and we remember all these things, and it just comes firing through us when it anchors. This is a little sharing so that we can ensure that we move out of this hierarchical structure, that there's 144,000 people, that there's saviors coming. Like, we're already here, and there's a bunch of us, and a bunch more can choose to anchor it in their body. Like, it's that simple. But does it take discipline? I mean, when you walk through the fire of that initiation, it asks a lot. And so we either say, I got you, or I don't know. But it's always there for the very breath, waiting for the I got this resonates with you, please share it with a friend and check all the links below in case any of the work that we offer and the functions that we serve may serve you.